This here is the AD-Pro8 tripod from Smallrig. Among video tripods, this one's beginning to lean into the higher end of the spectrum, therefore it's priced at $799. Not the cheapest option for a tripod, but that price does include this rather nice PH8 fluid head, and when you take this into account, it's actually a pretty decent deal. This is a carbon fiber tripod with a 75mm ball mount. With the PH8 fluid head attached, the kit weighs in at just over 5.5 kilos, which is actually really lightweight for a tripod of this caliber. It can be used with a mid-level or ground-level spreader. Both spreaders are included in the box. You can also push a button to pop out the flat feet and reveal a pair of spikes. It's a fairly big tripod, so the minimum height you can achieve is 58 centimeters off the ground, and you will need the ground spreader to do that. But when it comes to height, this is an incredibly tall tripod. Its maximum height is 196 centimeters, just a few centimeters shy of 2 meters, so I find it rather unlikely that you'll run out of extendable height when using this tripod. Perhaps the most special feature about the design of this tripod is how it's a two-stage tripod, but it's only got one lock for each leg. That means you only ever have to bother with the same locks, regardless your extension requires the second stage of legs or not. They are all released and locked together. The locks will also always live somewhere along the top section of the legs, and this is really nice because that means they're always within reach of the operator. When you extend the tripod by pulling upwards on it, it quite naturally pulls out the doubled up top section first before dropping the bottom legs. I do very much like how they've reserved this bit of cavity here so it doesn't pinch your hands when collapsing the tripod. This bit beneath the Smallrig logo is even rubberized, so they've designed these to be points where you can grab onto. The fluid head included with the tripod is also quite a pleasure to use. The max payload is rated at 8 kilograms, and it does come with both drag and counterbalance adjustments. It's got 6 stages of adjustments for counterbalance, so even if you're going from a slightly heavier rig to something a bit more lightweight, the same fluid head may very well still accommodate your setups. One thing to keep in mind though is there is no 0 setting for the counterbalance on this particular head. The minimum setting is 1, and there's still some amount of compensation being applied. Right beside the counterbalance dial, you'll find the wheels for setting your pan and tilt drag amounts. These can be set in 4 stages. They're not continuously variable like on some other fluid heads, but I have to say, it's a very satisfying click as you engage the different stages. That aside, you've got your pan and tilt locks on the left side. All the locks give a generous amount of leverage, including the lock for the sliding plate, which can be pulled out and repositioned. This is a very important detail, and I have very strong feelings against release plates which do not do this. Like most good fluid heads, the pan bar can be attached onto either side, and this is also a telescoping one, and boy does it extend into a long boy. Now, the baseplate system on this head is a bit of a highlight for me, because being compatible with the really common Manfrotto sliding plates is one thing, but check this out. The plates can release from either the front or the back of the head while holding down a release as usual, but these can actually snap in from the top. Well, it won't be coming out vertically, but when it comes to getting a camera onto the tripod, this is a much quicker and easier way than sliding it in. I've always loved drop-in quick release plates, and I'm quite glad this has it too, despite it visually not being the most obvious feature. I tried it with a few of my other Manfrotto compatible plates as well, and the snap-in works just fine. For $799, I would say this is a pretty fair amount of tripod we're getting for the money. For anyone interested, I'll leave links below to this AD-Pro8 kit, as well as some of the other Smallrig gear I've used in this video. That's all for today, and I'll see you around.